There is a moment, quiet, almost gentle, when a secret society stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like a cage. This is a true crime story unlike any you've encountered before. One that begins not with violence, but with a whisper, a handshake, a promise. The cult known as the Order of the Solar Temple didn't recruit broken people. It recruited believers. And this experience will walk you through every corridor of its darkness, with every rank explained not through cold facts, but through your own skin. You will feel the weight of a cult initiation ritual that stripped away your past and handed you a new name, a new purpose, a new God. This is a doomsday cult true story told from the inside out. A descent where the occult orders ranked above you held your fate in their hands, and the ones below you were already lost. And somewhere between the robes and the rituals, between the cosmic promises and the final pyre, you will understand why, when you finally tried to walk away, the only answer waiting for you was, you can't leave. Level 1. The Seeker. Geneva, Switzerland, 1989. You are 26 years old. You are not looking for a cult. You are looking for rent money. You are looking for a reason to stop staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. You are a recently divorced school teacher in Geneva, and the world has quietly, efficiently dismantled everything you thought you were. Your savings account reads 0. Your father is sick. Your sense of purpose died somewhere between the divorce papers and the third rejection letter from the school board. And then a colleague, someone you trust, someone with kind eyes and a firm handshake, invites you to a lecture. Spiritual philosophy, he calls it, a brotherhood of like-minded individuals. He says it will change your life. He is not wrong. The lecture hall smells of cedar and old incense. The man at the front is Dr. Luc Jouret. He is calm, magnetic, and he speaks about the Knights Templar, about solar consciousness, about the collapse of modern civilization and the few souls enlightened enough to survive it. He looks at you at one point, directly, impossibly at you, and you feel something crack open in your chest. You don't question it. You need this. You sign the first form that night. Level 2. The Neophyte. 6 months later. They call you a neophyte now. It sounds ancient. It sounds important. You attend weekly meetings in a rented villa outside the city. The room is always candlelit. The air always smells of something burning, sage perhaps, or something you never quite identify. You are given your first robe, white, scratchy at the collar, heavier than you expected. You are told it represents purity, potential. The other members are not who you imagined. They are doctors, lawyers, business people. A Swiss politician attends twice a month. There is a Canadian real estate developer who never makes eye contact with anyone but Jouret. These are not desperate people. These are powerful people who have chosen this. That realization does something to you. You begin donating money to the order. Small amounts at first, then larger ones. They call it a tithe of consciousness. You call your sick father less. You stop going to Sunday dinners with your sister. The order fills those hours instead, and the order feels, for the first time in years, like solid ground. You do not yet see that the ground is moving. Level 3. The Knight. 2 years in. Your initiation into the 3rd degree happens on a Tuesday night in October. You are blindfolded, and led into a room that smells of iron and stone. When the blindfold is removed, you are kneeling before a stone altar. 12 robed figures surround you in a perfect circle. Candles burn in obsidian holders. Someone places a ceremonial dagger in your palm and asks you to press it to your wrist. Not to cut, they clarify, but to feel the edge. To understand that commitment lives precisely there. Your hands are shaking. You press the blade to your skin anyway. They name you a Knight of the Solar Temple. They give you a new name, a Templar name, that you will use only within these walls. You are told that you now carry the legacy of the original Knights Templar, suppressed by corrupt kings in 1307, reborn through the Order's cosmic bloodline. You believe every word. Over the next year, you are trusted with more. You help recruit 2 new members, a nurse and an architect. You feel pride when Jure acknowledges you by name in front of the group. You feel chosen. You feel, for the first time since your divorce, entirely certain of your place in the world. That certainty is the most dangerous thing they have ever given you. Level 4. The Regent. 5 years in. You manage a cell now. 12 people who look to you the same way you once looked at Jure. The money flows differently at this level. You are no longer just donating. You are handling. Transfers between accounts in Switzerland, Canada, and the French West Indies. The figures are significant. Significant enough that you stop sleeping through the night. You ask questions once, just once. You ask Jure in private where a particular fund is going. He looks at you for a long moment, not with anger, with something far colder, a kind of patient, surgical evaluation. Then he smiles and says, "You are not yet at the level where that answer would make sense to you." You never ask again. The paranoia begins here. You start noticing who speaks to whom after meetings. You begin keeping a mental record. You become careful with your words in ways you never were before. Your sister calls and says you sound different. You tell her you are fine. You have not told her about the Order in 3 years. At night, sometimes, you think about leaving. And then you remember the names they know, the documents you signed, the initiates you recruited, the money that passed through your hands. You remember the blade at your wrist. You stay. Level 5. The Elder. 8 years in. Jure pulls you aside after a ceremony and tells you that the transit is coming. He has been speaking about the transit for years. A spiritual departure from the corrupt physical world. An ascension of the Order's highest souls to the Sirius star system. The true home of solar consciousness. You have always understood it metaphorically. Standing in that hallway, looking at his face, you begin to understand that he does not mean it metaphorically. Other elders are talking, quietly, desperately, in corners. Some members have already fled. An ex-member in Canada has gone to the police. There are investigations. Interpol has a file. The inner circle is fracturing along lines of belief and self-preservation, and you are standing directly at the fault line. You stop eating normally. Your hands shake again, not like they did in the initiation room, where the shaking felt like reverence. This shaking is something else. This shaking is the body knowing something before the mind is willing to admit it. You draft a letter to your sister. You never send it. Level 6. The Solar Master. October 1994. The compound in Chéry, Switzerland is silent when you arrive. It is always silent here. That was something you once found peaceful. Tonight the silence is different. Tonight it has texture and weight. It presses against your eardrums. You have been told this is the night of the grand transit, the ascension, the fulfillment of everything Jaurès promised in that cedar-smelling lecture hall 5 years ago. 22 robed figures wait in the ceremonial chamber. Some of them are weeping. Some of them are smiling with a calm that no longer looks human. Some of them, you realize, slowly, with a cold that starts in your spine and radiates outward, did not choose to be here tonight. You look at the doors. 2 men you have known for years are standing at them. They are not standing there to welcome newcomers. You think about the blade at your wrist, about the documents you signed, about the recruits who trusted you because you told them this was solid ground. You think about your father, who died 3 years ago believing you were a philosophy teacher. You think about your sister's voicemail you haven't returned in 6 months. Jaurès' voice fills the room. Calm, certain, final. There is no transit without sacrifice. There is no ascension without release. Tonight, we leave this world together, as we promised, as we swore, as we were always meant to. You understand, fully and completely, that you are not leaving this room. Not tonight. Not the way you came in. Level 7. The Reckoning. The morning after. 48 people died in Switzerland and Quebec that October. Some were poisoned, some were shot, some burned. The world woke up to photographs of bodies arranged in a circle in a burning farmhouse, robed in white, arms pointing outward like the spokes of a solar wheel. They called it a mass suicide. Investigators called it something more complicated. Your name appears in no headlines. Your face appears in no photographs. Because at some point between the locked doors and the final ceremony, something happened. A crack in the system, a moment of chaos, a detail that history records only in footnotes. And you were not among the 48. You are alive. And that, you will spend the rest of your life discovering, is not the same as being free. You changed your name. You moved twice. You do not speak about what you witnessed. You do not trust candlelight or the smell of cedar or men with calm voices and cosmic promises. You never joined anything again. But sometimes, in the specific silence of 2 a.m., in the specific darkness of a room you are absolutely certain you are alone in, you hear Jaurès' voice. There is no leaving. There is only the transit. And you wonder if he was right.